Shailesh Pawar, and in this particular session, I'm going to tell you what all features are there in Java as a programming language and why we all should learn Java. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. Okay. Now let's have a look at this slide first. So the first part that we will be seeing is features of Java as a language. Now you need to pay attention here, because initially it seems as if it is very simple question to be answered, but trust me on this कि जो सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनीज में जावा के ऊपर जो इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, खास करके जो फ्रेशर्स के लिए इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, उनमें ये पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन बहुत बार पूछा जाता है कि टेल मी अबाउट फीचर्स ऑफ जावा लैंग्वेज, एंड देन जनरली व्हाट पीपल डू is they simply by heart all the features and they tell all those features to the interviewer, and then interviewer starts asking that all the features that you have told to me, now start explaining those features to me. and यहाँ पे आके बहुत सारे लोग फंस जाते हैं यहाँ पे, because बहुत सारे लोगों ने फीचर्स वैसे by heart तो किए रहते हैं, बट उसका एक्चुअल मीनिंग क्या है, हर फीचर का मतलब क्या है, ये लोगों को जनरली पता नहीं रहता. तो we will be focusing on that part only. Now let's have a look at the first feature. As you people can see on the screen, the first feature of Java language which has been given is Java is simple language. So when you will be saying this, that Java is simple or say easy to learn language, a person in front will simply ask you, why so? How do you say that Java is a simple language? So what should be your answer in this case? The first thing that makes Java a simple language is that the syntax of Java is totally based on C and C++. The people who have past experience with C and C++ will obviously find it very easy to understand the syntax of Java, because most of the syntax is derived from C and C++ only. Plus, from Java, there were lots of such concepts in C and C++ which used to be difficult to understand for programmers, which have been simply removed from Java. Okay, and these are the things which make Java an easy to learn or say simple language. Then we'll talk about next feature here. Java is free, and that is true, because when you compare Java with with Microsoft's Visual Studio languages like VB.NET or say C#.NET. See, Microsoft Visual Studio is a totally licensed product. In order to make use of those languages to develop commercial softwares, you need to have licensed version of Visual Studio with you. But that doesn't happen with Java. In case of Java, there is no concept of licensed version. Java is free to be used. You can start making use of Java to develop commercial applications, and for that, you need not to buy any license as such from say Sun or say Oracle. Then the third feature that we'll be talking about is Java is an object-oriented programming language. And as Java is an object-oriented programming language, all the features of object orientation or say all the pillars of object-oriented programming are available there in Java also. Like you have concept of inheritance, polymorphism, then a message passing, all the features that you had seen in case of object-oriented language, object-oriented programming are there available with Java also. Next part, portable. Now, portability, as far as portability is concerned, see, Java is considered to be architecture neutral language. Now, what is the meaning of it? I'll give you a small example. मैं एक छोटा सा example देता हूँ तुम लोगों को इसके बारे में. See, in case of C, if you are using 16-bit compiler like Turbo C, तो वहां पे integer की size कितनी होती है? 2 bytes. Whereas if you are using any 32-bit compiler like GCC compiler, वहां पे integer की size हो जाती है 4 bytes, which simply means कि Turbo C compiler में 16-bit के Turbo C compiler में जो तुम्हारी integer type की जो range होगी वो obviously छोटी है, क्योंकि वहां पे 2 byte का integer है. वही अगर अपन हम लोग जीसीसी में जाते हैं तो वहां पे 4 बाइट का इंटीजर है, मतलब उसकी लेंथ क्या हो जाएगी, रेंज क्या हो जाएगी, बढ़ जाएगी. Which means being a programmer, you will always have to keep on thinking in which exactly compiler you are working. If you are working in Turbo C 16-bit compiler, then you have to limit the value that you want to store in your integer type, है ना, within that range only, for that 2 byte range, that is from -32768 to +32767. Whereas if you are working with GCC on same in using same programming language, that is C only, but अगर हम लोग कंपाइलर चेंज कर देते तो वहां पे इंटीजर की साइज भी चेंज हो जाती है. तो ये जो चीजें हैं ये आर्किटेक्चर के ऊपर बेस्ड है, बट दैट डजंट हैपन इन केस ऑफ जावा, एंड दैट्स व्हाई जावा लैंग्वेज को पोर्टेबल लैंग्वेज बोला जाता है, बिकॉज इट इज एन आर्किटेक्चर न्यूट्रल लैंग्वेज. देन लेट्स टॉक अबाउट प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंस. यस, सी प्रीवियस लेक्चर में हम लोग ऑलरेडी ये वाला पार्ट देख चुके हैं दैट जावा में राइट वंस रन एनीवेयर वाला कंसेप्ट फॉलो होता है ना. Being a developer, we need not to keep on making changes in our Java code to be able to run it on different platforms. All of that will be taken care by JVM only, and we know that platform independence exists in Java because of two things. First, the concept of bytecode, and second, the concept of JVM. In our last session, we had already seen what the entire structure of JVM is, how exactly JVM works. So platform independency is an important feature, the feature because of which Java had come into the software industry. Then let's talk about the next feature. Java language is considered as secure programming language. Now, why is it so? The first point that makes Java secure is that Java follows the concept of sandbox execution. Now, when we say sandbox execution, what do we exactly mean by this? As we all know, who executes your bytecode? JVM executes the bytecode. Now, always remember, this execution by JVM itself is known as sandbox execution, because if JVM understands that if you have written any such a code which is going to hamper your system security, or say which is going to perform malfunctions, then JVM will not allow that code to be executed at the first place. And then if that happens, obviously, if the code contains any malicious activities, those malicious activities would never be performed on your machine. And that's why people say that it is a secure programming language. Then let's talk about robustness. Now, why people say that Java is a robust programming language? First, as I had told you, in case of the feature simple, there are lots of tedious concepts present in C and C++, which have been removed by Java people. And the majority, or say major concept, one of the most important concepts of which has been removed from Java language is the use of pointers. Now, there will be certain audience here. The moment they will hear that yes, there is no concept of pointers in Java, they will be very happy. Yes, because as far as C and C++ languages are concerned, लोगों को जनरली पॉइंटर ये जो कंसेप्ट होती है वो थोड़ी डिफिकल्ट लगती है समझने के लिए. दो पॉइंटर्स हैव वेरी गुड यूजेस आल्सो, ओके, बट स्टिल जावा पीपल थॉट दैट एज सच वी आर नॉट developing Java, or say we are not going to make Java such a programming language which will be suitable to write system softwares, or say which will be performing low level or system level functions. तो वैसे भी उनको सिस्टम लेवल फंक्शंस परफॉर्म करने वाली लैंग्वेज बनानी ही नहीं थी, वो तो जनरल पर्पस लैंग्वेज बनाना चाहते थे, और इसीलिए उन लोगों ने सिंपली पॉइंटर्स का कंसेप्ट ही जावा से हटा दिया. अब इससे होगा क्या? इससे होगा ये कि इसकी वजह से मेमोरी लीकेज के जो इश्यूज होते हैं सी एंड सी प्लस प्लस के प्रोग्राम में, वो वाले इश्यूज कभी यहाँ पे जावा में नहीं आए. नेक्स्ट जो पॉइंट है जो जावा को रोबस्ट बनाता है वो है ऑटोमेटिक गार्बेज कलेक्शन. लास्ट सेशन में हम लोगों ने इसके बारे में बात की थी that being a developer in case of Java, we will never have to think about performing garbage collection. Any unwanted part of memory which is being used by your program would be freed by JVM automatically whenever JVM feels like doing so. जब भी JVM को लगता है कि थोड़ी मेमोरी कम हो गई है, अब मुझे मेमोरी फ्री करनी है, JVM ऑटोमेटिकली अनवांटेड पार्ट को क्लियर कर देगा. एंड ये भी एक रीजन है जो जावा को रोबस्ट बनाता है. देन जो जावा वालों के हिसाब से ऐसे फीचर्स थे सी प्लस प्लस में, लाइक से ऑपरेटर ओवरलोडिंग. जावा मेकर्स के हिसाब से ऑपरेटर ओवरलोडिंग वाज नॉट सच अ फीचर, है ना, विच शुड बी सपोर्टेड बाय जावा, विच एंड अगेन ऑपरेटर ओवरलोडिंग इज अ फीचर जो प्रोग्रामर्स को समझने में थोड़ी मुश्किल होती. तो जावा को सिंपल बनाने के लिए उन लोगों ने उस पर्टिकुलर फीचर को भी वहां से, मतलब जावा से निकाल दिया था. तो these are the things which make Java a robust programming language, such a programming language which is highly suitable to write commercial softwares, or say the softwares which will be using in day-to-day life. Then the next feature that is available in Java is multi-threaded. See, Java is a programming language which supports the notion of multi-threading. Now, what multi-threading exactly is, we will be seeing that in depth in the coming sessions. But multi-threading is very important feature where we enable to understand it in simple language. Multi-threading is a feature where we enable our Java program to perform multiple tasks simultaneously in it. तो एक ही प्रोग्राम में एक से ज्यादा टास्क एक साथ तुम लोगों को, अगर हम लोगों को एग्जीक्यूट करने हैं, तो ऐसे टाइम पे जो फीचर काम में आएगा वो होगा मल्टी थ्रेडिंग का फीचर. So remember, these are the features of Java language, and I have given you explanation for each of the features. Now let's come to very important point, that is why should we learn Java. ऐसा क्या है Java programming language में जिसकी वजह से हम लोगों ने Java language सीखनी चाहिए. So I'm just going to take you through all the applications or the application areas where Java is used. Have a look at the first point here. Desktop GUI applications development. Using Java, हम लोग graphical user applications, graphical user interface के applications develop कर सकते हैं. The important point here is Java is platform independent. So once you have developed a GUI application, है ना, that application can be executed on Linux, on Apple, on Windows machine also. So it will make your application portable or say platform independent, which is very good feature. Then second, mobile applications development. Initially, Java people used to follow the concept of J2ME, Java to Micro Edition, to support the development of mobile applications. And nowadays, I mean, almost more than 95% of the mobile users in the entire world are using Android on their mobiles, Android OS on their mobiles, and all the applications which are developed for, or say majority of the applications which are developed for Android OS are developed using Java. Then third application area is embedded programming. This is the first thing that Java people had thought of while developing Java, that they wanted to develop such a programming language which will be used for embedded systems. We had seen this in our first session only, and which will be used to develop such programs that will run on embedded systems, and that will run on variety of embedded systems, so that developer would not have to keep on making changes in the code. Then जो next important feature आ जाता है यहाँ पे, वो है web applications development. Now this is considered as one of the most important implementations, or say applications of Java language, because many people usually used to think that Java had come because of internet. Java internet की वजह से आई हुई language है. The reason behind their thinking was that that the first version of Java, it was launched in 1995, and that was the time also where people had just started making use of internet. See, Java, Sun Microsystem people had this clear idea in their mind that if they would have introduced Java with only one feature, अगर वो सिर्फ with only one extra feature, that is platform independence, अगर वो Java language को सिर्फ platform independence के लिए लेके आते, तो फिर ऐसा हो जाता कि जावा एक ऑप्शन बन जाती लैंग्वेज सी एंड सी प्लस प्लस के लिए, दैट टू इन केस ऑफ एम्बेडेड प्रोग्रामिंग. बट जावा वालों को ऐसा नहीं करना था. जावा वाले चाहते थे, सन माइक्रो सिस्टम वाले चाहते थे कि जावा ऐसी लैंग्वेज बन जाए जो जनरल पर्पस लैंग्वेज बने, वो सिर्फ एम्बेडेड सिस्टम्स के लिए मतलब सीमित ना रह जाए. सो फॉर दैट उन लोगों ने डिसाइड किया था कि let's try to support all the newest features that are available in the market in Java, so that है ना, people will eventually look at Java as one stop solution for all their worries. And at that time 1995 के time पे the newest thing which was available in the market was internet, and that's why Java people decided to support web application development also in Java. And Java is considered to be one of the first few languages which had a support for web applications development. एंड ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर है जावा का, जिसकी वजह से जावा को मेजॉरिटी आईटी इंडस्ट्री में यूज किया जाता है. देन वेब एंड एप्लीकेशन सर्वर्स, तुम लोग जो एप्लीकेशन सर्वर्स या वेब सर्वर्स होते हैं, अपाचे टॉमकैट हो गया, ग्लासफिश सर्वर हो गया, एंड जेबॉस सर्वर हो गया, ये all these servers have been developed using Java. Then using Java we can do enterprise application development also. Now what is an enterprise application? Such an application which will have huge number of users, such an application which will be divided over multiple layers, okay, and then such an application which will have lots of complexity in it. So if you want such kind of applications to be developed, let's take an example of SBI, State Bank of India's website. You can do variety of things in that using that website. Such kind of applications are known as enterprise applications. So in order to develop enterprise applications, there are lots of technologies available in Java, like servlets, say JSP. So that's why Java is very, very important part here. Then web services development. Using Java, we can also develop web services. See, web services are such programs which are maintained on web server, and anybody with valid credentials, any application with valid credentials can connect to that web service and get data from that web service. Now it doesn't matter at all कि जो application connect हो रहा है वो mobile application है या कोई desktop application है या कोई web application है. Mobile application, desktop application, web application, ये तीनों भी web service को request भेज सकते हैं और तीनों को web service से response आ सकता है. Then Java is used in case of testing also. Now अब ये पॉइंट लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता कि यार आप डेवलपमेंट की बात कर रहे हो, आप टेस्टिंग में जावा यूज होता है, ये कैसे बोल रहे हो. सी, हैव अ लुक एट दिस. मैंने लिखा क्या है वहां पे, ऑटोमेशन टेस्टिंग. नाउअडेज ऑटोमेशन टेस्टिंग बहुत ज्यादा यूज की जाती है. तो देयर इज अ टूल कॉल्ड एज सेलेनियम, एंड दिस इनसाइड दिस सेलेनियम टूल टू परफॉर्म ऑटोमेशन टेस्टिंग पीपल हैव टू राइट स्क्रिप्ट्स. तो सेलेनियम की जो स्क्रिप्ट है उसका जो सिंटैक्स है, इट इज हाईली डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम जावा. So generally, if people want to learn automation testing using Selenium, if people want to write program using Selenium, the people would be advised to learn Java first and then start learning Selenium too. So in this way, Java has its implementation in case of testing also. Then you must have heard about SAP. And in case of SAP, there is a module called as ABAP module. Again, similar to Selenium. In case of ABAP module also, if you want to perform development using ABAP module, if you want to make any changes in the ABAP module, those changes are also done using Java language. Then you must have heard about big data. You must have heard about artificial intelligence. Java has its implementation in case of big data and artificial intelligence also. Now let me tell you an interesting thing here, that the moment people hear about artificial intelligence, लोगों को ऐसा लगने लगता है कि अरे Python is the only language जहाँ पे ये artificial intelligence की libraries मिलेगी. और in a way ये सच बात भी है that Python people were the leading or say Python people were the first people to come up with libraries related with artificial intelligence. And due to easy syntax available in Python, people generally prefer Python over all the other languages whenever they talk about artificial intelligence. But trust me on this, even Java people have also started coming up with artificial intelligence related libraries, and the moment full set of artificial intelligence libraries using Java will enter the market, obviously this is going to have big impact on the utilization of Python as for artificial intelligence. Because if I have already learned Java and if I want to develop any application related with artificial intelligence, rather than learning Python as a separate programming language, I would always like to go for artificial intelligence using Java only, because in that case मेरा जो learning curve रहेगा वो तो कम हो जाएगा. और इसीलिए I would obviously prefer Java as a language for artificial intelligence rather than going and learning Python as a separate language. तो अगर एक जावा लैंग्वेज हम लोग सीख लेते हैं तो ये 11 एप्लीकेशन एरियाज हैं जो अपने लिए ओपन हो जाएंगे, जिनमें हम लोग जाके जावा का यूज करके डेवलपमेंट कर सकते हैं. एंड दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई वी शुड लर्न जावा. दिस इज द रीजन मैंने डे वन पे भी तुम लोगों को बोला था. tiobe.com वो वेबसाइट आप लोग देखो, जहाँ लैंग्वेजेस के इंडेक्सिंग के लिए, लैंग्वेजेस के रैंकिंग के लिए. यही रीजन है कि पिछले 10-15 सालों से मैंने जावा को कभी भी टॉप 5 लैंग्वेजेस में से हटते हुए नहीं देखा. So I think I have given you enough reasons on why should we learn Java. Now before concluding, I would like you people to understand this concept, Jre versus Jvm. Now there are many people who keep on saying that no, there is no difference between Jre and Jvm, है? But there is a difference, and this is where again you would be asked lots of questions in interviews. So question goes something like this: if I already have bytecode of my program with me, and if that bytecode is to be executed on a particular machine, what do we require, Jre or Jvm? Answer should be Jre. Now you might say that sir, आपने ही तो बोला था कि bytecode को execute करने का काम Jvm करता है, तो ये JVM का ही काम होना चाहिए, आप JRE के बारे में क्यों बात कर रहे हो? तो let's understand this concept here before concluding. Always remember, JRE is a superset of JVM. Now when we say JRE is a superset of JVM, means if you will add certain components to JVM, what you will get is JRE. So as you can see there, JRE is the box and JVM is the content of the box. तो JRE एक superset है और उसका एक पार्ट क्या है वहां पे, JVM. तो what is JRE exactly? As you can see there, JRE is equal to JVM plus Java package classes like util, math, etc., all the predefined classes, plus runtime libraries available in Java. So JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. तो JVM के साथ साथ जो भी प्रीडिफाइंड लाइब्रेरीज है जावा में, जिनको यूज करना जरूरी है इन ऑर्डर टू एग्जीक्यूट योर प्रोग्राम, एंड जो जावा के प्रीडिफाइंड क्लासेस है, इन सबका कॉम्बिनेशन, इन सबको ऐड करेंगे हम लोग, तो क्या हो जाएगा, JRE बन जाएगा. और इजी कर लेते हैं इसे, जैसे तुम लोग देख सकते हो, JVM इज अ कंसेप्ट एंड JRE इज एन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ दैट कंसेप्ट. So what does exactly this point tell us? See, JVM is a concept, JR is an implementation of that concept. See, car is a concept. Let's understand it using simple example. Car is a concept, but Maruti Swift is an implementation of that concept. So when we talk about car, it should have 4 wheels, it should have 1 steering, it should have ability to store 4 to 5 passengers, it should have 2 headlights. These are the specifications that we will write on paper. ये सारे specifications हम लोग पेपर पे लिखेंगे, but ये अभी भी पेपर पे है, ये अभी भी कार अब तुम्हारे सामने खड़ी नहीं है. पर जब हम लोग मारुति स्विफ्ट के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो वो क्या है, मारुति स्विफ्ट इज अ कार, मींस मारुति स्विफ्ट इज एन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ अ कंसेप्ट कॉल्ड एज कार. तो मारुति स्विफ्ट में कार के बेसिक फीचर्स तो है ही, उसके साथ साथ और भी फीचर्स है ना. तो मारुति स्विफ्ट हम लोगों को दिखती है आंखों के सामने, है ना. कार हम लोग वो कार है बोलते हैं, बट वो कौन सी कार है, तो वो मारुति स्विफ्ट कार है. तो सेम वे JVM एक कंसेप्ट है. यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू सी JVM प्रेजेंट ऑन योर मशीन, बट JRE इज एन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ दैट कंसेप्ट. तो अगर क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि अगर मुझे बाइट कोड को रन करना है, मेरे मशीन पे क्या प्रेजेंट होना जरूरी है, तो सिर्फ JVM प्रेजेंट होना जरूरी नहीं है. वी मस्ट हैव JRE present on our machine. JRE will be combination of JVM plus Java package classes plus runtime libraries. JRE present होगा तो प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट होगा, JRE present नहीं होगा तो प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होगा. So I guess we have completed our session here. We have We have covered all the required points here. The rest of the sessions we'll be covering in our rest lecture, remaining lectures. आगे चालूच आहे.